Wow. That is true, George. That's funny. Plus, have you ever noticed you got another voice in you that you're always talking to? Never noticed that? Okay, I think I'll go to the ball game. Who'd you tell it to? Then some voice seems to come back and say, yeah, that's a good idea. Who are you talking to? Boy, I like that person. Who are you telling it to? Some people have more than two voices. Go a little further, you need medication. So the point is this, it comes back to you, the individual. You need to take charge. You need to never let anybody discourage you. And in this business, man, this is the simplest business in the world if you've got control of you. Just control you. Control your emotions. Somebody don't like it. Oh, that guy, he didn't like it. He thinks it's one of these, or he thinks it's that, and you go off track. Shame on you. Would you like a PhD in sales? I'll make it so quick, we don't even need to talk about it much. How many of you like your doctorate degree in sales right now? All right, here it is. Sales is nothing more than transferring a powerful conviction from the person who's offering to the person who's listening to the offer. If you don't believe what you're doing, it'll never work for you. Because we're very discerning people. We know when someone believes and can lead. They pay millions of dollars to coaches in sports that can lead, yes or no? Because they have that ability to be confident, to inspire. So do you. But not when you're sitting on the seat. See, I've coached an awful lot of people. I say to people, how many of you are afraid to public speak? Put your hands up. Okay, how many of you would be afraid to come up here and take over for me right now? Why? Why? Never mind me. Why are you uncomfortable? I'm going to tell you why. Because you don't think you deserve to be heard. And you worry about someone else judging you. You could go right to the top in this business if you got rid of that one concern. Let it be whatever their opinion is, but you're not taking my fire out of my belly to go to the top.
Yes. Yeah.
So here's one more example of sales so that you understand it. You got a product, we'll make this a fictitious product, and it sells for €100. And if you sell the product, you get €50. The commission is €100 on the product. So now you go out, you present, it's no, maybe, call me next week, no. You get to the 10th person, and the 10th person says, yeah, I'll buy that. You jump up and down with joy. You go tell your friends, I made €100 today. To which I say, no, you did not. What? Here it is. That's not how it was created. See, you got paid €90 for tolerating those no's, and you got 10 at the end, which ended up being 100, but without those 9 no's, you got nothing. See, a little switch, it's called a different way contextually to hold what's going on. You see, most of us, there's content in our lives, right? There's our bills, there's our families, there's all these things, we call that content. And then we have this fishbowl that we put all the content in called our minds and our life. And then we take this big stick and we keep doing this to try to rearrange the stuff in the bowl, and it's still the same stuff. So we stop, it goes around, it's settled. and it's the same. So what do? Go back, get the stick, keep stirring. Change the bowl. Change the way you think about things, and everything moves in accordance with your new thoughts, your new beliefs, your new power. You all can do it. You see, when you were born, you knew your own magnificence. You acted as though you had magical powers. You didn't hate anybody. You didn't envy anybody. You were a pretty cool spirit, just trying to figure out. You were a stone adventurer. And when you started to crawl around on the floor, you had parents and grandparents and going like this for you. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. When you got up to walk, and you took your first steps, and you fell down, did somebody come over and say, "Oh, you loser"? They were saying, "Get back up, come on, you can do it, you can do it." What's happened since then? What's happened since then? You had it figured out there. And then we are so afraid of everything. We hide from our fears. We want, oh, security, that's an illusion. There's no such thing. It's an illusion. Look through your life. You were sure this was going to work, and it didn't. You were sure that relationship was going to work, and it didn't. You were sure that job was going to be the right one, and it wasn't. You were sure the house you moved into was going to be in the best neighborhood, and it wasn't. So security is nothing but an illusion, and yet we're addicted to it. We will do things under the illusion of security rather than free ourselves up for a chance to become financially free. That's who we are. And you know the amazing thing about what we do? What we do is so darn simple. We got a product that people buy, and we got a compensation plan that people get paid who can do it. And we have an opportunity for people who desperately need one to go as fast or as slow as they want to in an environment that cares. I can't stress that enough. In an environment that cares. I would not be here on this stage if what's behind it wasn't moral and right. So we've got the right leadership, we've got the right spirit that cares, and then we have the opportunity to go make our lives better and the lives of friends and relatives and people we don't even know to make it better. But if we're cowards carrying the banner, because I don't want to feel inadequate, insufficient, stupid, or otherwise, feel all of it. Don't let it stop you. Feel all of it. You see, that which you resist, if you resist rejection, you are constantly looking for it. You're looking for it to avoid it, so therefore you're looking for it. And if you think you're going to be rejected in any circumstance, you avoid the circumstance. That's how locked down you are. Who do we think we are that everybody should love us, or like us, or agree with us? Their judgment of you is your problem if you take it on board. Not that they're thinking it or throwing it at you, that you're buying it is the error of your thinking. You buying it. There's more power in most people than they've ever put in the game of life. You are eminently more powerful than perhaps you've played up to this point in life. But unless thinking changes, there's not going to be any difference in your life of any consequence. If you can finally get that the nature of your thinking is creating the nature of your emotions, those two are creating the choices and behaviors that make. Over time, they become the source of your habits of thinking and behaving and reacting. At the end of that is called circumstance. Oh, that's my life. Yes, there it is. What did Dr. James say? Was the greatest discovery? That a human being can alter the circumstances of their life by altering their attitudes of their minds. Never mind flashy cliches. This is it. We got to change the way we think. Let's understand the law of cause and effect. Well, how does that work? I think a thought and something happens. The cause of what happened is the thought. The effect of what happened is the effect of the thought. Cause, thought, effect, happening. Go ahead, do it 1,000 times and you'll see you can't get away from it. That's a law. Cause and effect. Well, wow, wait a minute. There's a deeper message here. Do you mean that whatever shows up over here was caused by something over here? Yeah, you got it. You got it, or it can't exist. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa, this is an illusion. Yeah. That's an illusion too. That is not solid. Look at this in the eyes of the physicist. The electrons, neutrons, protons spinning around. It's going so fast, it appears to be solid. So the smallest element of the universe that we know of is 99.99 open space. But it's traveling. Picture it this way. If you had a stick, and you had a string and a stone, and you spun it, and you could spin it so fast that you could never get through, what would it be? You said, that's solid. Oh boy. So therefore, we got to get to figure out who we really are. I've done a lot of work on this, many years of thinking, meditating with some very, very interesting, intelligent people. And I've come away with an awareness. I'll just share it with you. I'm absolutely convinced that it is so. But we are not this. This goes. This is the playground that soul plays in. We are really manifest essence of spirit. Spirit is before things. The universe was began by spirit, by thought. So everything that is material comes from a source of power. Most of us identify it as deity or God. But we don't really believe it, because if we did, we'd live differently. If we really believed it, we'd be loving, we'd be kind, we'd be caring, we would just be open spirits saying, whoa, this is one heck of a trip, man. I'm going to make the best out of it. I'm going to live by some codes of ethics. I'm not taking any shortcuts. I'm not going to steal from anybody. I'm not going to beat anybody up, because now I know I'm beating myself up when I'm beating that person up. We are brothers and sisters. We never got to vote on it. You ever notice in the testimonials how who's ever being honored is taking the spotlight back on someone else who helped them? Have any of you noticed that? That's a pretty good feeling, isn't it? To hug someone who helped you climb a ladder that you didn't believe in the beginning you could climb. But my golly, if I get around the right environment, if I start listening to the right information, if I start associating with the right people, my life cannot stay the same. It's impossible. So you need to set goals. You know, if they said I was coming here this afternoon to give you a speech on goal setting, half of you or more wouldn't even be here. Do you hear me? You would think it's that unimportant, or you've heard that before. What if I told you that your human mind and spirit doesn't even know how to half get started without you giving it something specific to do, and you won't? Didn't anybody ever teach you that? This is not child's play. This is your life. So if you're sitting here and you want to be here one day, then you better damn well declare it now. And say, this I shall do for one reason and one reason only. What's that, George? Because I said so. In the final analysis, you recognize the only real power you have is the power of your word. Are you your word? Or Or are you an excuse maker, a blamer, an excuse maker, a blamer? Oh, the suitcases, huh? Two things you're going to have to give up. And you better give them up now if you want to go someplace new. Picture these two suitcases, one on this side and one on this side. And they're bulging, they're big leather suitcases, huge, bulging. I lean over and I look at one, that one says, excuses. Ooh. What's the other one, George? Blame. Oh boy, if you know in counseling how many people start out with me blaming and excusing and blaming and excusing and blaming and excusing. And I say, why don't you go back and sit on your pity pot till you're ready to grow up and know it's you. So excuses are lies. Got it? Come on. Your excuses most of the time are flat out lies, and you don't say them as lies, you just say that's an excuse. I can get by with that. Huh? We're good at it, huh? And blame, oh boy, is that our favorite. Oh, I'd be nicer if she was nicer. What? You're letting what she does determine how you are? What's wrong with you? Oh yeah, I'd be kind if he was kind. No, you'd be kind whether or not someone else is kind or not. Own you. I've had people come to me for counseling and say, George, there's no love in my life. Can you help? I say, real easy. Learn to love more. What? You're not loving. That's why it's not with you. You're worried about what you can get instead of what you can give. Learn to put a smile on someone else's